Okay, so welcome everybody to the webinar to the Apex Sniper Thriving in 2021. My name is John Skelton with Apex Investing. And before we get started, as always, got to knock out some disclosures here. Trading involves risk. Make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. And tonight we're talking about Thrive 2021. I'm guessing that most of you that are on this webinar here are already signed up for Thrive. It's something we've been talking about for quite a while now. Our Thrive event, which will be March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It'll be online, but it will be live. It'll basically be 3 full days of live training, live teaching, next level information. And as you've all seen here, excuse me, and if you've all been to the Thrive page, you've got a whole list here of some different things we'll be going through that most of you are fully aware of, right? Learning Lori's no-brainers. I'm going to teach my favorite trade. We're going to talk about OPR, which is order prints rejection, OPAR, which is order prints absorption rejection. A big theme of this is going to be combining Sniper and Simplicity together to improve your trading. Talk a lot about mentality, trading psychology, finding walls for big targets, and then some stuff I kind of added at the end that I brought up to Daryl was, in this last section kind of fits in together of how to overcome losing trades. But, a trader about a week and a half ago brought up to me, hey, I have a lot of days where I start off in my first trade of the day. Grant, I'm gonna kick your butt, boy. We're gonna talk about you here in a minute. Grant says, "What is simplicity?" Question mark. Boy, you better be glad this is not going to be an in-person live event, boy. I'd have to beat you. We know Grant's kidding. But, somebody said to me, hey, there's certain days where my first trade of the day is a loss. And how do I overcome that? Like, it just sets the stage for a bad day. It sets the stage for a bad morning. It sets the stage for me to be just scared as can be taking the next. Like, how do we overcome that? And I kind of went through, several things with them of like, well, you can do this, you can do this. Here's what you don't want to do. And as I was going through this with them, I realized, I was like, this needs to be covered in Thrive. Like, this needs to be a thing. So, I talked to Daryl and I was like, man, we've got to throw this in, and that's where kind of this last section came from about how to overcome your first trade being a loss, how to overcome losing trades, the do's and don'ts, like how to handle that and how to win that mental game. So those are kind of the subjects we're going to be covering. I believe most of you are already signed up. If you're not, if anybody's not, just hop on over to apexinvesting.com/thrive. You've got all the information here. There's still right now a 60% discount on it. It's $397. You can go right here and get signed up. Okay, so get signed up right there. And again, that live event is going to be March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And what this is all about is, something I talked to you guys about. Oh, also, when you sign up, the earlier you sign up, the more entries you get into the drawing. Okay, you're probably familiar. There's going to be a big drawing. If you're the winner of the drawing, you get your choice. You either get a lifetime platinum membership, which is like a $10,000 value, gives you lifetime everything, free events, all this stuff. Or some of you are like, well, I'm already a platinum member, so what happens if I win? Or even if you're not a platinum member, you get to choose. The other thing is 2 days, all expenses paid, airfare, hotel, food, travel. You get to go to Daryl's ranch and trade with him live, in person, sitting next to Daryl for 2 days, trading, talking, hanging out, asking questions. Great time. Okay? So make sure to get signed up and get your entries into the drawing there. Several weeks back, I did a webinar about the theme of 2021, and we want to thrive in 2021, not just surviving. And I talked to you about how that starts now, understanding the basics, self-awareness. Remember we went through the different characteristics of traders, And I use the animal examples. Remember the pig, the sheep, uh, the leopard, and lion, and all that, right? And we talked a lot about that and kind of set that stage of having a good foundation, being self-aware of knowing what your weaknesses were and being able to identify those and self-analyze for weakness, and talked about how to build up to thrive. Okay, and the Thrive online event is going to be all about kind of the big picture, kind of about bringing all the little pieces together, right? You've learned, about OP, you've learned about walls and obstructions, you've learned about sniper, you've learned about simplicity. Some of you, might have had the mind mastery course. Some of you might have been involved in some of our previous years, live events, and how to really bring it all together. And it's going to be a great event. It's going to be 3 days straight, long focused days, but it's really going to be kind of the next level. Okay, it's going to be taking things to the next level, how to thrive, not just survive. Okay, but I want to kind of bring it to a halt. I want to pump the brakes here and bring it to a grinding halt. And I want everybody to really pay attention here. And I'm not getting on to you. This is not John beating up and yelling at you again, but it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of that, but it's more a preparation. And I want you to understand what Thrive, the live 3-day Thrive event, we've talked about what it is and what it's going to be. But I want to talk to you about what it's not going to be, okay? Because I got to set the stage here for you. I've talked to a lot of people over the last week while they were signing up for Thrive, or hey, they're calling in or emailing or Skyping or sending in help desk tickets about questions about Thrive. And I was like, okay, this has to be addressed, okay? So what is Thrive not going to be? Okay, Thrive will not be basics. We will not be covering the basics. We will not be clarifying the basics, and it will not be an open Q&A about the basics. Okay? Thrive is a taking it to the next level event. All right? We're not going to be able to stop and answer basic questions or get off topic. We've got, a set schedule. It's not a webinar. It's not the elite room. It's not a Skype or mentor room discussion. Okay? It is going to be, this is very important here. Okay? This is a live paid event. How many of y'all paid? Okay, someone says, what do you consider basics? If it's in the training courses on the sniper training page or covered in those videos, it's a basic. And it's not going to be recovered. Questions are not going to be answered about it. Okay? People have paid for this event, right? You guys that signed up, even if you got the early access, you paid $297 to come to this, right? You also took off of work, so you're missing out on paid days at work. Or you scheduled your vacation time and you're taking vacation time for this, and you're going to take 3 days away from your family. So I'm not being mean to anyone here. Please understand. I'm not being mean. I'm not being rude. But if I paid $300 for an event, I took off of work, so I'm missing out on money at work, I'm taking out 3 days from my family, or I'm using up my precious vacation time, I'm going to be really pissed off, excuse my language, but I'm going to be pissed off if I'm spending those 3 days listening to John, Daryl, and Lori stop and go back and answer the same questions over and over and over again about basics that are in the courses already that someone can go get for free anytime. Are you with me here? I hope you guys can appreciate that I'm really kind of being hard about these rules, because I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm sorry. You've paid us for this event. You've taken off time for this work. We're not doing it. Okay? I'm just letting you know right now. All right? This is not about basics or clarification of basics. It's not a discussion. I mean, you know, like I said, you guys have taken off time for this. We have specific topics, specific subjects, specific material, section by section. We've got set time frames and a schedule, and we just can't stray from it. You know what I mean? Because we've got a lot to cover. We've got a lot of great stuff to give you guys. Okay? Guys, the basics are free to all of you. Okay? Like, we give 30 days free and then another 30 days for $1. The basics are there. Anyone can go on their own time and watch the basics. Okay? A paid event is not the time for that. Okay, you can do that anytime because it's not fair to the people that are paying all this to get sidetracked. Okay, so now I'm not saying you can't ask questions throughout the event. Sure, you can ask questions, but we need to keep those questions focused to the exact topic that we're covering. Okay, basics or off the topic questions just won't even be answered or commented on. I don't mean that rude. What I'm trying to say is we're going to have 300 people on this event with a lot to cover, and we've got to just keep moving. Okay? So please keep that in mind. So here's a quick, just throwing this out here. Okay? Because sometimes even on these webinars, right, on our Tuesday night webinars where Daryl's like, okay, so let's do a chart review. So now this chart here, and you know, at 9:47 a.m. we see and then randomly someone says what? What's an LRE? What do you mean by that? Hey, if you're brand new, I'm not judging that question. Okay? I'm just saying. Or wait, what's an SLZ? What does HD mean? What is ODD? What is divergence? I'm not picking on anybody here, but should any of these questions right here be asked even one single time during the Thrive live event that you've all paid for? I know I'm being a little extreme here, guys, but do you get it? And again, I'm not picking on anybody. I've seen some of these questions. What's an LRE? What does HD mean? What is SLZ? From people that have been with us for several months. That's just not okay, right? Okay. So, you know, or while Daryl's covering simplicity, or I'm talking about simplicity and how to combine it with Sniper. Is that the time to be like, oh, hey, my Markers Plus template has an issue. How do I rearrange the buttons on the chart? Or, hey, I submitted a help desk ticket the other day about blah, blah, blah. Right? Not quite the time for us to do that. We really have to stay on track because it's going to be 3 days straight of a lot of stuff. Okay? So, or again, and this is something really important here. I'm beating the horse a little bit, but this part right here. One of the things Lori's going to teach is her no-brainer trades, right? And Lori looks at a lot of very specific things, doesn't she? Hey, I want this to happen, and I want it to be up against this type of level, and then I want to also see this, and I want to see this, right? And you've seen Lori's trades, and when she takes these no-brainers, how do they normally work out a huge percentage of the time? They work out pretty damn well, don't they? Okay? But something that happens a lot, whether it's me, Lori, or Daryl, teaching you a new setup. Trying to say, okay, what we're looking for is this to happen, and then we need this to happen. We also want it to be close to a level. The questions just start flooding in here on the webinar. Well, where do I enter? Where do I set my take profit? Where do I set my stop? What ATM do I use for that? Can I make this on Markers? We haven't even finished explaining the setup, and it's all about press the button. When do I do that? When do I do this? Right? And then 10 minutes later, those same people that were asking all those questions are going back saying, wait, can you show it again? Oh, wait, it has to be against the level. Oh, wait. You follow me here, guys? Follow along. We're going to cover it. Okay? Like, tell me this. When have we ever taught you a new setup that later in the video or in the very next section we didn't teach you and show you exactly where to enter, and then exactly where to set your stop, and then exactly where to take your profit, and then exactly what rules to get out early? We've always covered those every time when there's something new, right? We'll get to it. Right? You follow me? We're going to get to it. But a lot of people get so focused on jumping ahead, they miss the meat of it. Okay? They miss the meat of it. All right? So, yes, if we're covering a specific, Stephanie brings up a good thing. Hey, okay, when's the best time to ask questions or a follow-up? Well, look, if we're covering something right then and there, it's like, hey, I didn't understand what you literally just said. What you're covering right now, I have a question about. Ask the question, absolutely. And we'll try to make some little open Q&A time at the end of each section. But let's keep it specific. Again, just because we've got 300 people that have paid for this and are really wanting to dig in. Okay? So, and yes, and everyone will have access to the recordings. So all of this to say, is Thrive the time to learn the basics? Okay, it's not. All right, Thrive is going to be next level. You need to learn and focus on the basics now. You've got from now until March 3rd. Okay, so you've got a few weeks here. Okay, and so jump in. Learn the basics. Make sure you have everything down. Some of you are kind of new with us, but you still signed up for Thrive because you want to be a part of it, and that is wonderful. You've got a few weeks here. Go through the courses. This Thrive event is going to assume that you already know the basics. Okay? We're not going to teach or, be reviewing the basics. And we unfortunately, that in the room every day or on these webinars every day, we go through and answer questions and review. We just won't be able to do that on this event. And I need you guys to understand it's not us being rude. It's a live paid event. So it's very different. But you need to have the foundation already built and even the first floor of the house built. What we're doing here with Thrive is we're adding on the second story and the third story. We're building sky high here to Thrive. It's next level event. Okay, and we want to put all the pieces together, but we can't put the pieces together if you don't already have the pieces. Does that make sense? If you don't understand each piece or even have each piece, we can't put them together. We can't build the whole puzzle when half the pieces are missing. So your big goal, especially for those of you that are new, is to say, I've got from now to March 3rd to get through the basics, to get through these training courses, to make sure I have a handle on these things. How am I going to learn to combine Simplicity and Sniper when I don't even know Sniper? Okay? Because I've had a lot of people say, well, Simplicity is just easier. Green, green, red, red, pointing up or down. I'm just going to go with that. It's just too much to learn. And too many videos to go through and understanding the charts and all these levels and then this wall and then what is this level and these rules and obstructions and this chart and 60. I'm just going to go with Simplicity. How's that working out for you? I mean that as a real question. Raise your hand. How many of you have fallen into that trap? How many of you are doing it now? How many of you have done it in the past? There's just so much with Sniper and the different real. I'm just going to do this Simplicity thing and not even look at a Sniper chart. I'm not even going to look at one. How's that working out for you? Well, and we want to change that during this event. Okay? But you have to know both. How are you going to understand Lori's no-brainer trades if you don't even understand levels or walls or OP, or taking the best of the best trades? If you don't understand what best of the best normally means is multiple things combining, okay? And if you don't understand what those multiple things are and how they line up, you can't combine them and put them in your favor, okay? So, or winning the mental game. You can't win the game if you don't even understand the game or the rules, okay? Because we're taking it to the next level. And I want you to think about that. When will you start thriving? Okay, so let's just think this through here. The Thrive event itself is March 3rd through the 5th. Okay, it's the first week of March. It's a Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday. So you're going to have 3 full days. You're going to be exhausted by the end of Friday. Probably going to want to take some time off, that weekend. But also that weekend, you might be taking some time to review some notes, kind of absorb everything you learned. Okay, what do I need to change? All these things I've got in my head now. Let me write out some things to put in front of my desk. Let me write out some things that are best of the best trades. Let me write out some rules of these things I learned. This is awesome. I'm so stoked. I wish it was Monday morning so I can be putting this to use, right? You understand where I'm going with that? You're going to be so hyped. Study your notes, get prepared for Monday morning, March the 8th, to start thriving March the 8th. Or you're going to realize I didn't listen at all to that webinar where John did all that yelling. And that weekend, I'm going to realize I didn't follow any of this that was taught because it was over my head. Like, I didn't understand half of what was taught because I didn't do the basics first. So now I need to spend the next 2 weeks going back and reviewing the basics and watching the sniper courses and watching some videos and webinars. And okay, maybe now I got a handle on the basics. Now let me go back and watch those recordings when they come out later in March. And now I'll rewatch those 3 whole days of Thrive recording. And maybe sometime into March or into April, I can put some of those things to use. Will you regret that? You see where I'm going with this, guys? You kind of have a choice. You've got the next 3 weeks to prep for Thrive and make sure you're there and got the foundations done. And you can make the most of the event itself and understand and follow through and follow up and know the questions to ask. Have that weekend to kind of absorb and form it and put it together. And start thriving March 8th, that Monday. Kind of a new turn, a new corner, a new momentum launch pad for the rest of 2021. Or you can say, I got to start fresh. You kind of have that choice right now, right? So I encourage you, for those that need it, spend those next few weeks. Okay, guys, let me help you understand why I'm doing this webinar tonight. And I know some of you are like, okay, we got it, move on. I've talked to 50 or 60 people in the last week since we launched Thrive. I've talked to them by phone, Skype, whatever, helping them with signing up. I want to show you some of the things I've heard, some of the things I've talked to people about. A lot of people said, what should I do to prepare for the Thrive event? Or what do I need to understand to get the most out of Thrive? What do I need to know before Thrive? And that's where some of this started from. I got that question quite a bit, and I explained to people what they need to know or didn't know. I've heard this. Daryl's going to show us the secret to simplicity, so I just don't need to learn anything else now till then. I just need to wait for him to give us the holy grail little secret on this Thrive event. I've heard that multiple times. Yes, if you're signed up and registered for Thrive, you can be with us live those 3 days. But yes, the whole thing will be recorded. And then before the end of March, Those recordings will be on the Thrive page, only available to, Thrive registrants. But yes, you'll have lifetime access to that. But yes, I've literally heard this multiple times. I'm not going to do anything until Thrive because Daryl's going to show us some secret. That's what this Thrive thing's all about. He's going to show us this one little trick, and I can just press buttons all day. I'm not going to learn anything. I don't quite get it. I don't quite get, all that stuff that's covered in the sniper course and that understanding the charts and these levels. I'm just going to wait till Thrive because they're going to explain it all. I have heard that probably 20 times in the last week, and I'm not even kidding. I'm letting you know right now, we are not going to explain that in Thrive. We are not going to take hours of people's paid time to explain what's in a free course sitting right there. Okay? Yeah, kids these days. I haven't watched the sniper course in full. They're going to explain it all. It's just too much to sit and watch. I'll just learn it when they cover it in Thrive. We're not covering it. Okay? I'm letting you know right now, not going to be covered. Oh man, I've heard this one so much. I just gave up because it was just too much. OP, walls, levels, complicated, confusing. I can't, all those lines on the chart, I'm sure they'll teach it there. And they'll teach it in Thrive, an easier way to understand it than they teach it in the training course. First of all, no, there's no easier way than how we teach it in the course. And then I went back and did the simplifying videos. We're not teaching it in Thrive. It's not there. And I've heard this one so many times. I only trade simplicity because all the lines and levels on the sniper are too much. I don't get it. Videos are too much. Thrive will make that all clear. It will not. Thrive will make it more complicated for you if you don't know them. I heard this one yesterday. Again, not picking on anybody. I heard this one yesterday over the phone. I'm just going to dedicate 2 hours a day, every day, now till Thrive, and just keep going through YouTube playlists to kind of catch up in my head. Then I'm going to wait to go through the sniper course step by step till after Thrive, because I think it'll make more sense then. Okay. Obviously, I steered that person a completely other way. But for those of you waiting to dig into the sniper course until after the Thrive event, is the completely wrong backwards way to do it. Okay? How about this one? It's too much to understand, too many videos, too much. Until the Thrive event, I'm going to take every trade that the detector pops up on till I learn this next level advanced stuff. Be honest with me here, guys. This one right here, I have heard so much in different forms. Raise your hands. How many of you are guilty of this? How many of you, because how many times have we been on a webinar and Daryl's doing a walkthrough of the day, right? And he says, okay, this one doesn't line up. It doesn't follow the rules, so no trade, right? But then he scrolls forward and it still won though. The next one, oh, we don't take it because the rules don't apply. And then what did it do? It won. How many times have we seen trades that don't follow the rules still win? A lot, right? Every day. And how many times do you just remember those? A lot, right? So how many of you are guilty of this? How many of you just said, it probably work out in the end? That's all complicated to learn this level and obstruction and wait. So wait, this trade, chop's okay. This one is not. This one, range is okay. This one is not. Wait, this one, double clusters matters. This one, double clusters doesn't matter. I'll forget it. I'm just going to take every trade when the detector says there's a trade. If I just keep trading all day, it'll probably work out. Say yes. You know you've done it. If you've been in the elite room the last 2 days, some of you are still doing it. Because when you got called out about it, and the reason why of, wait, there was, double clusters there. Wait, what is that? Wait, nope, that was 2 to 3 bar chop. Oh, what is that? I've heard it. Okay. Guys, that is not smart. You can't do that. You're trying to take the easy way out. Okay. Yeah. Or I'm only going to trade Simplicity until Thrive. And I'm going to take every single trade in Simplicity because I don't want to watch all those videos. I'm going to take the easy route and not do snipers just too much. I'm just going to trade Simplicity. How many of you have done that? The reason I'm trading Simplicity is because Sniper was too complicated for me to learn the rules, so I'm just taking every Simplicity. How is that working out in your account and your profit? Let me know. Right? Levels and all that are too much. It's too many rules. Trade every detector. I don't have time. I hear this one all the time. I think the numbers and the odds and the probabilities will work out if I just trade every Sniper Simplicity trade, and then maybe I'll catch some of those big ones like Daryl. And then it'll all equal out in the end. So I'll win, I'll lose, win, lose, win. Ooh, and then win big. Can you mentally handle that? Okay. Or I know that understanding walls and levels, and I know that that's important for those people and for those type of traders, but I'm sure there's some way just to take quick, easy trades and not have to think, not have to read the markets, not have to educate myself, just be able to press buttons. Or I hear this all the time. Daryl seems to be profitable with Simplicity, but I'm not. Okay, well, in the room, I see it all the time of, well, didn't you see that big obstruction in your way? Oh, no, I didn't have a sniper chart open. Okay, well, you should already know this, but you're darn well going to know it after Thrive. Why are you trading Simplicity without a sniper chart open? Like, that does not even make sense. Or sometimes like, hey, why did you take that trade? Well, I take every trade. I take every Simplicity trade. Since I'm not looking at anything else, I don't know how to filter them. Well, there's a reason we teach you order prints, reading the market, and Sniper first, and then you add on Simplicity. Yeah, it's like Larry says, it's like committing suicide. Exactly. Or sometimes there's the good big trades. And I even hear Daryl or someone else say, yeah, why didn't you get in? Oh, I was waiting on someone to tell me to. Do you get the common theme here? Most of it is just lack of trying. Most of it's lack of knowledge, lack of education, right? So again, Thrive is going to assume that you have down the basics, and the basics are your responsibility, okay? You need to know the basics. You need to take the time to learn the basics, get them down, go through the courses, okay? This will be a next level event. You're going to be lost without it. You need to go through the sniper trading course, especially those sections about understanding the charts. Okay, and I can tell you now, you'll never be successful with Simplicity without understanding all these other things, and that will become much more apparent to you in the Thrive event. Daryl doesn't take every trade. He doesn't take every Simplicity trade that comes up on the chart. He looks at multiple charts. He's looking at multiple things. He's looking at the big picture. Okay, but you also need to understand the why. If you go back and watch the new sniper training courses, there's 2 videos in every section now. Daryl goes through the rules of, here's the steps and the rules and the enter. Then I go back through it and show you the why behind it. And when you understand the why behind everything, then you learn to look at the big picture, the whole picture, and to read the market. Okay? So, yes, It's much easier just to click a button when a detector comes up, or to be impatient, or even be lazy, or you don't want to take the time to learn. You want to find something that just works. Okay? Like someone mentioned earlier, the longest route to a destination is a shortcut. Okay? I ask again, for those of you that are just doing that, taking every trade of the detector, or taking every trade of simplicity without a filter, how is it working out for you? And I haven't got a lot of response answers to that in the chat here, because I think you know the answer. We all know the answer, right? So I'm not trying to beat up on you here. I'm trying to help you and put this into perspective here. Okay? Because Thrive is going to be about putting all these pieces together, and how you do that and how you make all this work together. And you're going to be lost if you don't have these pieces. All right? So what to do? We've got 3 weeks. Got 3 weeks until the Thrive event. So yes, go through the courses. Go to the Sniper Bootcamp page. Go through the courses. Understand the trade setups. Understand the charts. Get the basics down. And then ask questions. Don't be too proud. Don't be scared. You've got 3 weeks. Post charts. Ask questions. If there's something that you're not quite following, ask about it. Get active in your mentor group. If you don't want to ask all these questions in the big elite room, get active in your mentor group. That's what they're there for you. Those mentors are in there, and those people in the groups are in there. They will gladly look at your questions, look at your charts, help get you ready for Thrive. Okay? So get those basics down and be ready for that. Some of you say, hey, I've got the basics down. I've been here a while. I understand the basics. What can I do to get ready for Thrive? I've been around for years. I've got it. Well, are you sure you got them? Watch it again to make sure you've got the basics. How many of you have the recording access from last year's event? You can go, and for those of you that don't have it, you can go right on here to the homepage of the Apex site, last year's event, Sharpshooter Apex 2020. If you don't have it, you can click here and sign up for that and get access. This was last year's live event. And we covered 30-tick charts and big walls and big levels, mind mastery. There's all kind of stuff there. So for those of you that are new, get those basics done. For those of you that say, hey, what can I do? Go back and watch this if you have it. If you don't have it, feel free to sign up for it. I'm not trying to sell it to you. I'm just saying you can sign up and get last year's event. Lori spends hours going over her big charts and what makes up some of these levels and what ICRs are and what 30-tick stuff, all this stuff that you could have and refresh your mind on and get ready to have it built on even more now, right? Or the Mind Mastery course. Those of you that have the Mind Mastery course, watch that Mind Mastery course. We're going to talk quite a bit in this live event about some mind mastery and trading psychology and how to overcome losing trades, how to win that. Okay? Like, go back. So this whole webinar, I know it's felt like, oh, this is all about those newbies that won't watch videos. Well, no, this is something for everyone. Even for those of you that really feel you have Sniper and Simplicity down, what can you do for your own head space to really take it to the next level? Go back. Rewatch Mind Mastery. Rewatch everything from last year's live event. There's so much stuff in there. Broken down. I mean, how many hours, did Lori spend on, 30-tick walls, stacks part 2, trailing, how to trail, like, secret setups and OP rejection, managing a trailing trade, all of this stuff. Okay, you've got so much stuff here. And for those of you that don't have it, just click that section right there and you can purchase it and get last year. There's so much that you can do no matter what level you're at. Whether you're brand new, been with us 2 weeks, 2 years, 5 years. There's things for all of us to do to get ready for Thrive, to be able to add that extra next level on. Okay? There's something for all of us. You'll go back and watch this and you'll remember, oh, now I remember that. Or, oh, you know, I remember watching this last year when Lori was covering this and that about the stacks and the walls on the 30. I didn't quite get it. Now with a whole year experience, I get so much more. Oh, wow, I get that. I get that so much. You ever done that? You're like, you know, I remember when I first watched this training, it didn't make a lot of sense. Now that I've got some experience, that makes perfect sense. It's so clear. It clarifies everything. I feel like a light bulb just went off, total new vision, and now I'm going to go into Thrive 2021 and add even more. So there's something for everyone here as far as preparation. Okay? So, just want to throw that out there. Now, most important, for those of you that are new, taking a step back, yes, just go to the Sniper training page and go through everything. Go through all the training. What is most important for you to watch, or if you want to go back and rewatch, is this right here. Step number 4, understanding the Sniper charts. What are the highways? What about order prints? What about the levels? Understanding those. Okay? This is one of the most important sections that you can rewatch. I mean, definitely make sure you've gone through the whole course, but if you want to go back, this right here. If you understand the charts and you know what everything is on the charts, you'll be a lot better prepared for Thrive. All right? From there, what's the next one? Right here under section 7. That whole thing I did right here, tutorials. Really breaking everything down. Breaking down order prints, breaking down the levels, breaking down divergence, hidden divergence, obstructions, using larger charts. Those right there, refreshing your mind on those will really help get you to the level that you need to be at to make the most of Thrive. I want you to I want you to be prepped. I want you to get a lot out of Thrive event, have that weekend after Thrive to really focus, and start that Monday, March the 8th, thriving at a whole new level and a whole new outlook. I don't want you coming out of that going, I got to start all over because I didn't know the basics. You know what I mean? You've paid good money for this. You've taken time out for this. We're going to put a lot into this. Let's make the most of this all around. Okay? So, be in the elite room, ask your questions, share charts, learn, grow, be engaged, prepare for Thrive. Okay? So guys, I know I harped a little bit tonight, but I hope you can all understand why. And again, I hope you understand I was not being rude setting out these rules for Thrive, but it's a paid event that people have paid for, taken off work for. We're going to focus on, you know, what we need to do. Couple of you asked, hey, what are the exact hours, time of the day, schedule? We're still getting that together. We will get the page updated here probably next week with a little more info. I mean, it's going to be, you know, morning till dark, but we'll have breaks, we'll have lunches. We'll get an official schedule, agenda kind of thing out there, update on the site very soon. All right, we've got another call tomorrow, me, Daryl, and Lori, right after trading to make a little more progress on some things. So that page will get updated as we get closer, and then of course we'll announce, you know, we'll blast out, announce in the room, hey, this is updated on the page, that's updated on the page. You definitely won't miss it. So, okay guys, I'm done harping on you. I appreciate you joining tonight. I hope that was helpful. Yeah, it's going to be all day. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be all day there. Yep, definitely go through and watch those. And yeah, again, this wasn't just about newbies. Some of you are saying, "Oh man, I didn't think about that. I can go back and watch Mind Mastery. I can go back and watch last year's live event." Oh yeah, yes, go refresh on those. Okay. All right, guys, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Make sure to be in the Elite Trade Room tomorrow morning. Okay. All right, guys, get some rest. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great night. All righty. Bye-bye.